A teenage girl accidentally let loose a racehorse worth a fortune. For years, no one had ever truly managed to tame it. The horse was notoriously aggressive, and it had already injured several people, making it far more dangerous than most realized. Her grandmother had paid a huge sum to buy it, only to be seriously injured by it herself. The accident ended her riding career, and she spent the rest of her life relying on a cane. Even the stable hands never dared get too close when feeding it, instead staying outside the stall, carefully passing food through the bars. Yet somehow, this wild and unmanageable horse would only calm down around one girl. Maybe earning a horse's trust was never about force in the first place. The girl's name was Mika, and she was known at school as a troublemaker, constantly at the bottom of her class, with little that seemed to set her apart. One of her friends tried to comfort her.
Du kannst doch so viel.
Was denn? Ja? Danke.
Saying that with grades like hers, there was no way her family would approve summer camp. Then the friend came up with an idea and burned Mika's failing test paper, hoping to help her hide the evidence. But the paper was carried away by the wind and somehow landed inside her teacher's convertible. To make matters worse, her name was still clearly visible on it.
Gehört es zufällig ihrer Tochter?
As punishment, her parents sent her to spend the summer in the countryside. That unexpected decision ended up changing her life completely. Far from the noise of the city, everything felt calm and peaceful, as if she had stepped into a different world. Mika treated the whole experience as nothing more than a trip she never asked for. She raised her camera and snapped photos of cows grazing by the roadside.
Ja, Mu.
The boy sent to pick her up arrived right on time in a red tractor. Looking at this country kid, Mika barely felt like speaking and climbed aboard without much of a word. Seeing her cold attitude, Sam wasn't exactly friendly either. The moment the tractor started moving, the rough ride nearly made her sick. Mika sent the photos she had taken to her friends back home, but the signal out here kept cutting in and out. Watching her wander around with her phone searching for reception, Sam could only shake his head. This spoiled city girl wasn't someone he found easy to like. Not long after, Sam brought Mika to a large estate. Horse equipment was scattered throughout the property, and the sight of riders clearing obstacles on horseback immediately caught Mika's attention. The person supervising the training was her grandmother, whom she had never met before. Her grandmother instructed a rider to raise the jump higher, but the rider complained that the horse was already exhausted and couldn't keep going. Her grandmother responded coldly.
Nicht er, du!
Just then, Mika finally arrived at the estate. Her grandmother slowly approached with her cane. Although it was their first meeting, she had already heard plenty about Mika's personality.
Groß bist du geworden.
Kleiner wäre auch komisch.
Stimmt.
From that moment on, the clash between Mika and her grandmother officially began. On the way to her room, Mika noticed photographs covering the walls. They showed her grandmother in her younger years, along with the many awards she had won. One particular pair of elegant riding boots caught Mika's attention. With obvious pride, Sam explained that her grandmother had once been a world-class show-jumping champion and had even won Olympic gold. Even now, she still held competition records, and those boots had been set aside for the family's future heir.
Das ist ja wie bei Aschenputtel.
At dinner, Mika and her grandmother barely exchanged a word, making the atmosphere painfully awkward. When the food was served, Mika realized that none of it was anything she liked to eat. Late that night, she woke up hungry and quietly headed downstairs looking for food. But just then, a piercing horse's whinny echoed in the distance. Following the sound, she arrived at a heavily reinforced stable where she saw a black horse with an extremely violent temperament. Mika didn't stop to wonder why it had been isolated on its own. Unable to sleep, she felt an unexpected connection to the animal.
Na, kannst du auch nicht schlafen?
Mika quietly unlatched the door and walked straight inside. The horse that had seemed ready to attack anyone was now unbelievably calm. She even softly asked it a question. Then she offered it the rest of her apple. The black horse slowly lowered its guard and ate the apple from her hand. As sleepiness took over, Mika lay down in the hay and drifted off. And the horse that had injured so many people for the first time showed a gentle side to this innocent girl. It turned out that taming a wild horse didn't necessarily require domination. Sometimes true connection begins with nothing more than understanding.